But some of us needed a little ass bossing sometime. Sometime it was unnecessary, and sometime it was necessary. Yeah. Now we have our children. Do we have to be beating our children when our children is out of hand? Is there a reason why your child is getting out of hand? You know, some of your children spoil though. Some of you parents spoil and picnic them. And then when you tell your children to do something, your child say no. Well, your fault. Greetings.
Yes, Rasta Parsta.
Yes, I.
That client shepherd is here.
Yeah.
And I want take a little splice out of the high time and send out a shout out to my elder. Worthy, you know, service sister there, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Greet him up and heal him here. You know, see it and make him know, boy. Soon see I and I forward, you know?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yes. Fire, you see all on the high topic, you know. You see enough of the parents, them.
Yeah.
You see the parents, them attitude. Why if some of them have to really resort to beat them people. If you check out the parents, them attitude, you know, Rasta, every youth them have come back with them attitude, you know. And enough of the people, you see the people them come back and do. Them used to do it before. That's why them don't like to see the people them do it, as them see them do it, so they murder them because they were persecuted to do the same thing. They used to do the same thing. Because you see sometimes when a youth grow up and used to do certain things and different and get disciplined for it. You see when him turn adult now, see and him youth man stage now, if he really that energy if he become adult now when he start have youth and grow up now, when you check say that youth man attitude gone. He come right back in him youth in a being.
Yes, sir.
That's why him as a father can see when them do wrong, you know, because he used to do the same thing.
See.
Identically, because that's why them say what goes around come back home. Mother, the same thing the mother used to do, the daughter do it. That's why God say, you know, so the daughter, so the mother, so the daughter, so the daddy, so the son in the Rasta. It's just genes and flesh and blood in a being. Some of the mother, as the same thing the daughter used to do. The same thing the mother used to do, and the same thing the daughter used to do. So when the mother see that she don't like it because it will bring back to her youthful days, because the daughter come back with the same attitude. So she wants to beat it out of her.
Alright, so Bridget.
So the son of the same thing.
So Bridget.
Fire gun. The son come up a gunman, same way, Turby and the father.
Yeah, but hold on there. Supposing now your daughter their school now and a fight and a go and bad in a school and a disrespect the teacher them. How are you gonna deal with the child?
When you see circumstances will really make anyone get involved in certain things. So you have to check out the nature of what the child do and why the child did have to do that. As the previous woman say, everyone knows them child and know what their child is inclined to do. See, and sometimes there is other elements where child to react in a very vulgar manner. See, so you have to go and really specify identify the evidence how your child become involved in certain things in school.
See. Yeah, because blessed love, brethren.
Yeah.
Isla. Yeah. So yeah, first one to the post, you know, because that's how it is, you know, you have to talk and come through quickly because, you know, first one to the button. Anyway, so we're trying to resolve this thing because as the last caller said, enough of this thing is our own fault and we don't even realize it. Greetings.
Yes, sir, greetings.
Greetings, sir. How can you help me and help the people them in this discussion?
Well, you know, there's a two different type of thing going on here. You know?
Yeah.
You have some kind of parenting, or the parenting, it turned out to be a bully thing.
Yeah.
It's not much different from when a husband beats a wife, and the parent become addicted, giving out these beatings. So those beatings become non-effective. Discipline and a beating is two different things. If a child young, out of order and doing something where going put hand in a fire, nothing wrong with give the child a slap, you know. Because that is protecting the child from their own self. But this thing where some parents go out and buy special straps, which are straps not much different from a whip.
Yeah.
Some parents all beat them child with chain. Me get beaten with chain and tie up and beaten. So me can't really respect them kind of thing. And I know say most of the beaters are in churches.
Oh.
Because them confuse themselves. They get confused with the information about spare the rod. Where you see even all the denomination them. They have gone through like the dark ages where they were killing people to convert to Christianity. So they convert them by the sword. The Muslims then do it too. Convert them by the sword. That's another thing like spearing the rod. So these things, these violent answers to these issues where people might have done something, a wife do something where a husband don't like, him beat her. And you have many of them in a different culture, especially in the African culture, where the husband beat the wife like how he beat him picnic them. None of it no right. It's bullying.
So you see it as bullying?
It is bullying, and it needs to be corrected. It's called, you see, moving away, it's called progress. But it's a work in progress. Where people going to come to realize, say, all right, we tried that way there. It may not work perfect, but you have to talk to the people them too. So if your children are people, you know. So when you're going to discipline them, you need to actually let them know, say, I withdrawing this privilege from you. You can't go to where you go on Wednesday night for 2 weeks. You got your bed early. You can't watch this TV program where you love to watch because you did something when not right. These are when the child young, you send them go sit down in a one room for a while without play with the rest of picking them. So you know, it's to get away from that inherited slave mentality where we inherited from the slave master of being whipped and in return whip. Where the abused become the abuser. So, you know, it's just a step away into the right direction from the wrong direction and do things in a correct way. Discipline is necessary. But this thing called beating is not a discipline. It's a bullying tactic. I am bigger and stronger than you, so I'm going to bust your ass.
See.
You know, so that is my opinion. Anyway, I hope I've contributed.
Yeah, because people need to know, because we reach a stage where knowledge is power, and where the mind is, the power of the mind now is everything's changed. So we want our youth them to have the right mind. Now, does beating distort that and draw them back within themselves? You know what I mean? Like as you said, the slavery mentality. So we need to find out.
It inherited them. It gives them something to continue. So it becomes a continuous cycle.
So
instead of learning how to talk to a person or a child, or even a husband talk to his wife in a way that he don't resort to violence.
So
the same thing.
So would you say, as a child growing up, that beating made you? Was it necessary for you, or was it unnecessary?
You know, I would have said when I growing up, I was not easy child, you know. So, in a sense, I could have been spoken to. Cause the first time I come to England and go to church, you know, and the pastor say, "I'm not close on the eyes, cause we go and pray." And I not used to seeing white man, you know.
Yeah.
So when they tell me to close the eye, I want to know if the eye really close, you know. So we put a piece of paper in an elastic band, and me shot him in his face. So straight away, them say, "This is a devil picnic come up from Jamaica." But it wasn't that. It was my curiosity, but I was being rude at the same time, you know. But from this, I was labeled as a devil picnic in the church. And me not stop get beaten.
Scene.
I get beaten to the extremes. I get beaten where I get tied up with rope and beat with chain. I'm put in a cellar to kneel down and pray whole night.
See, so basically,
these are church people doing these things, you know.
See, I know. I'm not personal against the church people, but I've known a lot of church people, and the way they discipline their children, some of them was a bit extreme. Yeah.
They're very extreme.
Yeah, and
they're very extreme. And this is part of the teaching, as the gentleman said earlier.
Okay.
This is part of the teaching which was given from the colonials with their book, which them put out there for us to read and to say this is the way that we're supposed to operate.
All right, and we do that, and we operate exactly how they want us to operate. Continue the slave work, beat the youth them like how we used to get beaten. So what type last caller, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Give thanks. Yeah, give thanks. Yeah, man. Give thanks for the contribution, because we need to get our mind right and start bringing up our children in the right way. Yeah, instead of beating. Beating is not always the answer. But yeah, man. The two-part show. This. Greetings.
Hello.
Greetings, madam.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I personally think beating is alright and disciplining, because if you look at the kids, the youth, them today, look how they're behaving. Half of them are in jail and half of them are just lingering on the road. Do you understand what I mean? I have a daughter, and the same, I'm not talking about beat to bruise. Yeah. This is what this government thinking that we're going to do to our kids. No, we're talking about a little smack and make them know not to play with us. Do you understand what I mean? I used to get that, because I was raised up back home in the West Indies. And you know how it is in the West Indies. You get beaten when you're in school. And if you come home and tell your parents that you get beaten, you get beaten again. Do you understand what I mean? If you look at the kids now today, please, everyone, look at them today and tell me if their parents know how to handle them. Because they're not giving them no beating and they're not in control. Do you understand what I mean?
Ah, so you think that spanking a child is control?
But of course, because when a child, if my daughter could come and tell me that she's going around thieving, you're mad. I must give that a little smack or something. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not talking about beat. Government think that when black people or anyone say beat, we're talking to hit their kids or mark their kids. That's what they think we're going to do, because there's a lot of people out there that abuse the system, that beating their kids, they beat them to kill them. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a little smack or something to make the kids know not to play. Do you understand?
Okay.
That discipline, your kids will walk all over you.
All right, well, sometimes some people can get carried away. You know, mom can have a bad day and the youth do something bad on the same day. Mommy have a bad day and that beating might go a bit over the top.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, I understand that could happen.
So
at the same time, like, I'm not like that, innit? My daughter's 3 years old. I don't beat her because right now I think she's young, innit? She don't understand. She don't know. But you see, when she gets to be a teenager and she starts to do her little messing around, no, not in this house. Because when I was young, if I didn't get the beating that I got when I was young, it's what made me what I am today. Because I would have probably been like one of those young girls on the road, partying, doing a whole heap of kind of rubbish. I'm seeing 13, even younger than that, kids smoking on the road. Some of them have even got boyfriends. Tell me what they're doing with boyfriends at that age. That's because there's no discipline in the family. There's no discipline. It's not about not having a man, and it's not about having a mother. It's the discipline. Some mothers and some fathers let their kids, they just think, oh, yeah, just let them do it. No. That's not how it is. You have to have discipline. And I'm not talking about, don't take this wrong, I'm not saying beat them all the time. Yes, you have to talk to them, because sometimes beating don't work. You have to try to talk to them. But you see, when you try and talk to your child, yeah, they try to take the piss. Because when you talk to them, they think, okay, mommy's talking to me. It just goes in one ear and come out the other. Do you understand? And it's the friends that they're following as well. Bad company. Do you understand what I mean?
I hear you.
That gets them in trouble. It's also the friends. But if you look at the kids today, especially the young boys and young girls, most young girls are getting pregnant nowadays because they haven't got discipline in their household. That's what it is. You need to have some discipline. When you come home from school, you do your homework, you eat your food, and you go on your bed. You don't stay out with your friends lingering. And I'm just being honest because I used to be that young girl that used to be around with her friends, and my mum's telling me where I come out from and I'm there lying, and I'm getting myself into trouble. Do you understand what I mean? But now I truly see what my mum was talking about. As I got older and I have my own child, I truly see. And when I get older, when my daughter gets older, I'm raising her the same way my mother, my grandmother raised me. Do you understand what I mean?
Well, that's a point there still. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to build a picture, because not a lot of the parents, they are afraid of their children in their own house.
You see?
Yeah.
That's what I notice about. They are scared of their kids, but they need to stop being scared of their kids, because remember, they're the ones that give birth to them, and they're the ones that can take them out of the world just like that. Do you understand what I mean? And that's what I think that's wrong, because I don't know why they're scared of their kids.
Then we'll find out, you know what I mean, because this is something that we're going to have to talk about, and this is going to be a two-part show, because there's a lot of information that I'm going to have to play, because we need to resolve this thing, because there's enough of the youth is so not enough. Well, yeah, some of them is so out of hand. Yeah, enough of our 12-year-old, 13-year-old got their gun and their strap and everything. Now, is it our fault that our youth them is living that lifestyle? Is it our fault that they have to go out there at 12, 13-year-old to go and get themselves a gun and be a part of the thing out there? Is it our fault as a parent?
Well...
Is it the beating that make them turn around and want to be like that?
Well, everyone, you know what? Everyone's different, innit? Some kids get beat, like you say, like I heard you said, if you never got the beats that you did, you wouldn't have. There's some things that you did. Do you understand? Yeah,
I did some wrong things, and I did, and I deserve some of the beating I get. I deserve. You understand?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But sometimes, like, it is when you like. There are some kids out there, when you beat them, they don't listen. They still do it. Some kids are from a good home, like they get everything that they get, and they still go out a road. I just don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is, but I just feel like the government is just seeing this beating thing. They're taking it too far. I don't know if it's because kids that are dying, like young kids, you know what I mean, that's on the news, that's
the abuse and all that.
You know, so much. I don't know if it's that, but we're not saying to beat our kids to the, like, when I'm talking about beat, I hear people say they got beat with chain and all that. No. I got beat with bamboo when I was in school. That's because I was...
That's not beating, brethren. Bamboo. You know, man.
Bamboo. That thing, listen, that hurts, you know. Best believe, that marks up your skin.
Your bottom soft, man.
But like, what I'm saying is that when you beat your kids, okay, it doesn't work. You try talking to your kids, it doesn't work. What's the other option to do? Do you understand?
Well, we don't know, because there could be a reason why the youth them is doing what they're doing in the first place. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
You need to get to the core of the thing. If a youth is being disobedient out there, or going on a certain way, or not listening to the mother or the father, or intimidating the mother, like the single parents, and the boy come in and out, and the mother, boy, you can't tidy up your room. Oh, child, leave me alone. And go in the room, close the door, start smoke some skunk and play some gangster rap.
Yeah.
Mother has no control over the youth. Yeah. Now, what went wrong? Why is the youth doing what the youth's doing? Why is it this thing where enough of the youth them nowadays is, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
You know what it is? Sorry to cut you. It's the friends most of the time. It is the friends, because they probably see that happening in their friend's house, and they're thinking, boy,
they
why
can do the
is mum
same.
not? You get what I'm trying to say? And they try it at home, and sometimes the parents don't say anything. But me, I'm totally different from when my child get a certain age and she tried to do that business. Not with me. Not with, and the kind of father that she has, her dad is like disciplined. At her age, she's free, but she knows not to like You know what I mean?
Okay, but remember, caller, you remember there's a difference between how disciplining your child
Yeah, there is a difference.
and
Like I just
beating
said,
them, you know,
like,
there's a difference.
Yeah.
So remember the difference, you know, you are correcting your child and disciplining your child.
Yeah.
You remember the difference, you know, what
Yeah.
discipline is.
But
Discipline is not
remember
necessarily
also-
beating.
But remember, I never said beating to the point where you hurt your child. I'm talking about beat to make them know, say, not to do it again. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not talking about bruising, because all of that bruising business, there's some mothers out there that beat their kids to bruise them. I'm not talking about that, because that's wrong.
All right. Well, everybody got their own opinion, because we used to have fun. We used to sit down and count the bruise them. Say, ooh, hi. We used to sit there and say, look at that one, they're big in it. You say, yeah, man. What all the crew know about them one day when you and your sister and your brother them sit down and count the bruise them? You know what I mean? You say, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And you vex, and as soon as you touch it, don't touch it. Yeah, man. Those were the days, brethren. Those memories, my people. You know, then when you count the sore and when you put on your coat and ooh, your shirt, ooh, yeah, man. Every day,
but then when you get the sore, do you really attempt to do what you did to get it?
Brethren,
You know what I mean?
you remember it when you got to your bed and you lean on that side. Oh, wrong side. Yeah, you remember what you do. Forget that. You know what I mean? You remember for the whole day. But some of it was unnecessary. But in some of it was necessary.
Yeah.
So it's just a balance of the lifestyle that we would have lived if we never got that. Especially when it comes to disrespecting your mother and your father.
Yeah.
That time there, the rod for draw out. That's my opinion. When you disrespect your mother or your father, no remorse, brethren.
I think when they're young, growing up to it goes wrong from when they start getting to that teen age. That's what it is. When they start hitting that teen, the 13, 14, 15, 16, that's just when you get all of that back chat and all that want to try and challenge you and all of them kind of business there.
Okay then. All right then, Carla. Listen, we've got time. I move fast. Thank you for your contribution. Yeah, as a younger, and yeah, man, we need to learn how to deal with the youth them in the right way, and the answer is not always beating, but there must be a deeper reason. Maybe the youth them vex with the home life, and they got then rude at school. There could be a reason behind them being rude, and this is what we need to get to.
Yeah.
All right.
Then bless up, yeah.
All right, bless up.
Bye.
All right. Yes, what at the last caller? We see youngers them and telling us how them feel, and the beating did work for her still, yeah. There is so much things what you really need to know. This is gonna definitely be a 2-part show. Up to now, I don't even play a one thing that I'm supposed to play to you, but something for you to listen to. Yeah, listen to this. Yeah. This is another reason why I did the show. America is getting out of hand. Yeah. Okay. Greetings.
Yes.
Greetings, madam.
It's me again. Just something to add to what you said earlier on regarding the youth them, and is it our fault why they're behaving the way they do?
Yeah.
Now, when you look at most of the young men in our community, right, you check the homes, because you talk a lot about single parents.
Yeah.
You find that it's only mothers that are bringing up young men.
Yeah.
Right? Every child wants to, he looks at that individual in his home and he wants to be like that person. He wants to be like his father. Most of the fathers, they're either in prison or on the front line. Mm-hmm. So there's no role model for them out there. So sometimes they're finding it very, very frustrating, because who's there on their role model? You have the hip-hop artists, ride or die, or footballers, being our role model, or the gangs, and now they're becoming the parents that bring up our children. So who's responsible? Is it our responsibility, or is it the government?
Well, you know what? As I say, before they change the law, regardless of what people say, before the law changed where you wasn't allowed to beat your child, mm-hmm. We never hear about them youngsters with guns and this and that. You never hear them thing there. Yeah, but it's as soon as the law changed and they say you're not allowed to beat your child, and as soon as the child had the power to lock their parents up, or once the child was given the power to turn around and say,
well, come on, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, right?
We
were young, we were growing up, we did our thing. It might not be to the extreme that they are behaving now. You understand me? But because I remember enough time when I used to go raving and enough things used to go on in a dance, and I have to run and leave my shoes and stuff like that. You understand me? What I'm trying to say is that the fathers who are supposed to be out there training up their sons, most of them are not around to contribute to their lives. They're either locked up in prison, or they're on the front line selling drugs or doing whatever. You understand me? If that's what you're showing a child, that's what the life is about. That's what he's going to go for.
So what you're saying is it's partly the father's fault then?
The absent fathers.
The absent fathers.
There are some fathers who are not in their children's life but still make contribution. But there are those ones, I'm not going to call them the deadbeat dads, who are just like sperm donors, just have a child here, and then they go about their business and, leave the mother struggling to bring up that child because she has to work. Sometimes she's working around the clock. She don't know where up in the day, during the day.
See, so
because she's out there trying to keep down the job, trying to keep food on the table. Sometimes trying to keep him out of trouble because he has to have the latest trainers. He has to have the latest designer stuff so as to, keep up with the Joneses. So she's out there working 24 hours round the clock trying to give him all the things that he needs. But at the same time, she's not at home for him. So she don't know where he is. She can't keep tabs on him.
See, so you're saying it's the father's fault then?
Some of it. I'm not blaming totally on the father. You understand me? But I think he needs to make some kind of contribution in his son's life. Not just his sons, because on the daughters as well. Because then the daughters, if they see they haven't got a man to train them or to show them how a man should treat a woman, then she's gonna go out there and pick up some bozo. You understand me? Because that's probably what she saw him, the way he treated her mom, and thinking that's how it's supposed to be.
Okay. All right.
So, we need to fix up in the community and then, re-educate our children. But before we can re-educate them, we have to re-educate ourselves.
All right, then. Well, I hear you. But in some cases, as I say, I'm not encouraging people to beat their children, right?
No, not at all.
When I was having my children at that early age, I thought, beating them was the right way. You know what I mean?
Some women will lash out on their children, because of their own frustration.
Yeah, I hear you. But what I've learned though,
especially if they've got a frustration with the father, or you look like your father, you remind me of your dad. You know what I mean? And they lash out.
Well, what I have learned though is, I never used to beat my children regular. Yeah, very rarely.
Regular.
If I beat them, them know say them deserve it, because I will give them warning on top of warning until I look stupid, and they say, "Dad, they ain't doing that," and they always talk. You see, when it reached that stage there, then I will bust their ass. But you see, when I bust their ass, it's just once in a lifetime, and they will remember that. And I'm only would do that if they disrespect their mother. If they disrespect their mother, or their teeth, or them grasser, I bust them ass, brethren. Them three things they don't disrespect. Learn your thing at school. And about that grass up people, them things, they just morals. There's certain things you just live that way there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And apart from that, I don't need to beat them. I'm
just going to sign off with one thing, right? I'm going to go Bible, because the Bible says that we must honor our mother and father, that our days may be long. That is a promise.
Yeah.
But it also says mother and father must not drive their children to wrath.
And it also says spare the rod and spoil the child. It also says that. So the Bible is telling you to beat your children.
Well.
So when you go to church and you see the pastor, you tell your pastor, is it okay for me to beat my children? And the Bible tells me so. So you see, religion again.
You beat a horse, you beat a donkey when it don't want to move or got into submission, innit?
Yeah, but
does that make it right?
Well, it says rod. So remember this, that same scripture says rod, rod. You know what I mean? So this is where, when you're looking at religion, like the last caller says, and a couple of callers have put this point over as well. This religion thing is one of the reasons why we do beat our children, because the Bible tells us that that's how you discipline your child. Yes, what I'm saying. And it says, don't forsake your children to wrath. Otherwise, don't make your children get angry. The spirit of anger.
But I could also say that sometimes a lot of the things that you read in the Bible is a shadow of something else. You know what I mean? Like prophecies and things like that. You know, Jesus himself used kind of a type of. So, I don't know.
Alright then, big up for the little contribution again, right?
Yes.
Give thanks, yeah. I've kind of trying to get through some more things and some more callers become not says some I want to get the beating and it work, and some of you totally disagree with it. You know what I mean? But as a youth growing up, yeah man, I was doing some bad things, brethren. So I know say it kind of keep me in my way to a point, but some of it was unnecessary. Texas, we know about the beating because our grandfathers is in jail. Is a jailhouse officer. Oh, all type the crew. We know about beating because we know about beating because our grandfather is a jailhouse officer. Yes, my brother, we can write a book about it. All type Elijah Muhammad's daughter. Yeah, we need to write a book about it. All type that Texas, yeah, big up. We need to write a book how to discipline your child. So remember this, you heard it first on SLR, we're putting it to the world. Somebody need to write a book how black people for bring up them children. Yeah, because some of you got this Willie Lynch syndrome stuck in your head and you feel said that is the answer. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna play something to you, yeah, because you need to hear something, because you know, for real. I'm gonna play something for you, jokey thing. But two things I'm gonna play for you. Listen to this one. This is why I say this youth never got no beating, no discipline, yeah, at all, yeah. And look what this youth did, yeah. So I'm gonna play some things to you, so to make you understand. Say, boy, I don't know what wrong with these youth them, you know, but I know say a little beating wouldn't have done no harm. And if we look at the way we are now, yeah, you can say, well, did the beating do you any good? In some cases it did. And as the last caller, the caller before said, go to church and in fire plastic band in the pastor eye for see if him a look. No, you can't do that in the church, brethren. you can't do that. You see, obviously, you know, something wrong there, so you're just rebellious there, so it's like you say, oh, man, for fire now, what go on for real? Instantly, if them eye close. Jeez. Well, life is that. Anyway, listen to this and see what you say.
Free food and free drinks.
Okay, not that one.
But once he turns 21,
listen to this, yeah, because you need to have a rough idea.
And then he could be a free man.
What's going on? Why I say this?
DeMarco Harris is 13 years old now. He was sentenced to a juvenile facility, but once he turns 21, the judge will determine whether or not he's been rehabilitated, and then he could be a free man.
13 years old. Listen.
It is not what Steve Babcock and his family wanted to hear the judge say about DeMarco Harris.
If DeMarco has successfully complied with all the terms of his probation by the 21st birthday, he will be released from the court's jurisdiction.
When the sentence was handed down, tension filled the courtroom, and some of Trisha's loved ones left in disbelief.
This is a joke. He has an opportunity to walk free at 21, which doesn't set well with me or any of my family members. What kind of example is this setting to the youth in the city of Detroit? And now you know why they're dealing with the crime and the violence that they're dealing with every day in the city of Detroit.
DeMarco Harris is 13 years old now, but he was 12 last August when he shot and killed Trisha Babcock in Detroit while trying to rob her. Prior to his sentencing, DeMarco faced her family.
I asked for forgiveness. I'm asking for forgiveness right now.
So he's in a court now. I know him ask for forgiveness. 12 years old and he shoot a woman and a robber. 12.
DeMarco Harris's sentence is nothing compared to their sentence, life without Trisha.
I'm never going to be able to give my daughter away on her wedding date. I'm never going to be able to hold her grandbaby. You took my bloodline. You took my little girl Trisha. And people mention all the time in this court and the murder trials about a child. What about my child? What about Trisha, who was only 24 years old?
If my son goes to jail to 21 or for the rest of his life, I know that will never, ever heal the hurt in your heart.
This is the mother,
pain.
yeah?
I pray that God give y'all forgiveness for my son and pray that y'all forgive me because I'm the parent. Blame me. Blame me. Blame me.
He took our granddaughter's life. She doesn't have a life anymore. He may have a life when he's 21. I think it's totally wrong. I'm sorry. I do.
You see? So, now that story there, 12-year-old youth could shoot a woman, rob her and shoot her and kill her. Yeah? Now, who turns around in the court and says, blame me? The mother, the single parent. She says it's her fault. Yeah. Now, this is where we're looking at the discipline thing now, because some people has lost children and loved ones true to the way the youth them are going on street. So when you're sitting down there and those who have lost a loved one and child, you know what I mean, God bless you and bring peace to you, you know what I mean? But was it lack of discipline that made these youth them do these things? Because I'm sure, you know what I mean, some of their father never have no gun and go around doing these things, and they learn these things from the television, the media, the PlayStation, teaches them to be totally unruly. So this is why I played you this, because you need to look at the other side of the youth them. Yeah. So 12-year-old kill a woman, rob her and kill her. He gets 12 years. So he's got from 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He gets 7 years. 7 years he gets in prison for taking a woman's life. 7 years he get. Imagine that. He admit to it. He says sorry, and he asks the family to forgive him for killing their daughter and leaving them with a grandchild with no mother. Now, did that child deserve a beating? Did that child deserve to go to prison? These are still the same children we're talking about that we turn around and say, we must talk to them, you know. We must talk to them. Alright, so that's that. Right? I'm not even gonna bother overdo it because I'm gonna finish this show next week. Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a part 2 of this show because we need to wrap up this thing. We need to have a solution. And outside, anybody out there, remember, you book writers, you knowledgeable people who sit down there and write pages and pages of book, and you have all these books and things pile up under your bed. You better write a book on how to discipline your child the black people way. Yeah, because we so used to drawing for the belt. Yeah, we need another solution. Love is a good solution, and showing a child love is a good thing, but at the same time, some children are out there and they don't have that father. They don't have that male role model around them, and they need that. They need that constantly in the house, because once that is around, the child will behave. You know what I mean? And once that is out there and he's not there, the child will misbehave. You know what I mean? Maybe the child is misbehaving because the child wants to spend more time with mommy or daddy, or there is a reason why the child is misbehaving. But we need to get to the core of the matter, why the child is doing what the child is doing, before you draw for the rod. Because you draw for the rod and the youth just close up and they ain't going to talk to you, or she ain't going to talk to you, because you done beat them first. Maybe the teacher don't like them. You don't know which way it's going to go. So as the last caller said, we'll go to the school or wherever the issue is and reason with them and find out from both sides in a humble way Because we have got a reputation of Jamaican people. We got the reputation of beating our children. That reputation is there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The whole world know Jamaican parents are strict. The whole world know this. So we don't want no one to take advantage of it so that we beat our child unnecessarily, because they don't beat their children. They take away their PlayStation, take away their bike, take away everything that them like. And all the name brand trainers take that way and go to Wrigley Market and buy some £5 trainers and give it to them. They don't have nothing else to wear. Trust me, it work. Take with them Nike. No, it's them big Nike trainers that you have when we buy. Take them off. Go to Wrigley Market and get some £5 trainers and give them. And make them wear that in the house. You don't want them to wear it in the school because you don't want people to laugh after your child. Yeah, but in the house, make them wear that. If they need to go out, if they can go out, then that's all they have. But when they're going to school, then they get their proper ones. You understand? You have to learn. You have to learn. Now, before I go, I'm going to give you this one here. What the army crew them used to get beaten and sit down and count the sore, you know what I mean? And have to hide under bed. Think so you get where. And mommy come in and come out from under the bed. Come out. And you have to hide. You know, man. You know them one there. This is a story. I'm going to play you this one because this is memories for me, yeah? This one is called Beating the Jamaican Way. Yes, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn something from it. Bring back some memories. Yeah? Alright. So, this is Rasta Parsta. I'm going to play this one for you and then I'm going to be out of here. But next week we're going to finish off the show because we need to get to the root of the matter of what we are doing wrong. And we need to help these single parents with their children because sometimes it can be hard on them when they got children to bring up, and to teach a child how to be a man is not easy. Yeah. Alright, so all tight, listen to this one. Memories, people. Alright. Just to cheer you up a bit, yeah? Okay.
If there's one thing every Jamaican know about a good arson, the whole of we used to get some dirty lick. Who remember when them used to lick? What? You see that? Who remember when them used to lick? Too much beating me get in my head, you know. But who remember when them used to get some good arson, some dirty musty lick? I mean, you cannot tear. When they lick there reach you are runway. They back you up in one corner and just a lace you. Like a slavery days. So kunta kinte lick. Yes, master. Tell me your name. Name is Toby. What your name? Toby is the name. I remember when I used to get beat. Papa Jesus. I used to get lick out of slippers, belt, electric card, map tick, broom tick, guava stick. Dirty stinking guava stick. Right now, I hate guava. I have a fear of anything that is guava. I don't go near guava trees because I just feel like them now just root up themselves and start tear me kid. That's how much I used to get beaten with dirty stinking guava stick. Beatings used to take a certain format. First of all, you used to get the warning, and in the warning them would have sound something like, no let the yard. Go be down the ramp in our bathroom. Tap ramp in our house. Go do your homework. No teeth. No fight. Cannot see you come in and see what happened to you. Go clean your school shoes. No back answer me. No come out of the yard. For some reason you always get a warning the twice. But as a child, you fool. So you know what you do? Everything with them tell you not to do. Reason being, that's how the fun did there. And when you do it now, you might the next door and just hear something like this. Kevin! Walk bout dog! Come in the yard! You know what got when you hear the call? Your whole day just get free when you hear the call. And you know see some lick. So you take time walk go home now. Sit down all out the door for all a good half hour. Now go inside. You see beating always had some key moments where me can't forget them. Parents do this thing. Enough of them love to do it. When them see you, them stand up in the doorway and give you a little pass to squeeze through. Pass. You well hesitant. But you go lick me. Me I go lick you. I gonna tear you up. Me say fi pass. And wait till you almost get through, then you just tear you one across your back. You know, shut off. Another key point when me remember too, are the lick there. That one lick there was just soak to the bone. When the lick they put on, you want to take you off. the whole of we know that face. Just take in a deep breath. And then that deep breath just can't find its way out. No matter what you do. So you just start look around. At this point, the only thing going through your head is, me I go dead. Me I go dead. Jesus Christ, me I go dead. Me can't breathe. And just before you swear say I go dead now, 5, 4, 3, 2, right on time. Also, getting beaten the Jamaican way used to have 5 types of beaters. The first type, the command, then beat. Me say fi go beat. Then you have the question, then beat. Me never tell you say you know fi come out of yard. Then you have the statement ratio beater. The one you know, with every word that come out of their mouth, you get a lick feed. You never hear me say. You know fi boom. Sometimes them split words in a syllable where don't even have no syllable for split in them. I feel sorry for all those persons who used to have stomach parents. Papa Jesus, that must have been horrible. You have the me will kill your parents them now. Well, when them a beat you, that's all them can say. Them a put so much energy in a beating you that the only thing that can really come out of their mouth is me will kill you. And more time when them a say this, them a choke you. Me will kill you, you know, me will kill you. Me will kill you, you know, me will kill you. Me will kill you, me will kill you. Sometimes it sounded like a slicker song to me. Yo, me will kill you, you know, me will kill you. Me will kill you, you know, me will. Yo! Then you have the shut up beat of them now. Them are the one who beat you, and while you holler, them are tell you to shut up. That be nice. Shut up, shut up. Me give you nothing for holler for. It's not only a physical beating you used to get. Them used to beat you psychologically too. But me tell you how. You remember when them used to send you for the thing what them gonna use beat you with? That is just really messed up. That's like giving a prisoner some threads and telling him to weave the rope what you gonna use hang him. I can never forget those days when I used to get them dirty, stinking lick there. But at the end of the day, you have to respect and love your parents. Because all of them lick there where them did give you was for a reason. I mean, look how it turned out. And if Jamaica want to fix the crime problem, parents need to take up back them strap.